Hello everybody, welcome to PlayStation Access. I am Ash, joined by Rob.
Hello.
There's his lovely dulcet tones.
Thank you.
And we are here today to talk about Dragon Dogma 2.
We are.
Which I'm very excited about because I got some hands-on time with it.
I know, and famously, you played the original Dragon's Dogma so much that you had like a really vivid dream about living in the world of Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, it's 5 years long.
5 years of your life.
Not in real time. It was one evening.
In dream time.
Yeah.
Do you think Dragon's Dogma 2 also has the potential to be the game of your dreams?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think just that perfect fantasy RPG goodness, that like high fantasy world of dragons and people who need to be heroes in tough moments, like it is distilled in Dragon's Dogma 2. And it's a really nostalgic game, like coming back to it after playing the first one and getting all those feelings back of like, it just feels so magical and nice. And walking through with my pawns and being the Arisen, which is the fantasy chosen one, is just, it's very wholesome. It reminds me so much of the first game in a really good way, but expands and, you know, furthers the reach of it. So I think the interesting point for this one is the first story was quite set. Like it's about a cycle and it breaking the cycle and figuring out what goes on there. So coming to this one, you are the Arisen, your heart has been taken by a dragon, which I saw in the gameplay, which was very cool. The dragon speaks with like, whoa, like proper dragon voice.
Classic Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Deep, growly dragon voice.
In dragon speak as well. So you're like,
exciting.
what are you saying? But yeah, it sticks its claws in you, chomps on your heart, and you wake up again as the Arisen with pawns in your service, which are these AI-generated party members that just love you and want to tell you how great you are all the time. Honestly, it's such an ego boost.
Followed around by many adoring fans. Yeah,
honestly, they were proper like, it's my life purpose to be with you, Arisen. I'm so honoured. Every time I spoke to them, I was like, yeah, you're right, thanks. But this story is still kind of mysterious to me. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go or how it's going to unravel. And I think that's good. I don't think we need to talk about story too much here because that's half the joy of Dragon's Dogma is its complex kind of folding in on itself narrative and all these different angles it can spill off to. All I know is there are two Arisen. There's an Arisen in the town up top and there's an Arisen that's you, and you've got to figure out what's going on there and where you guys sit together.
Interesting.
So that's two chosen ones. How does that work?
No, I can't.
No.
There's only one of you, surely, that's the real chosen one.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
other one must be just a false Arisen or something.
The main thing that I took away from my gameplay with this one was that delicious ability to jump on big baddies, cling to them and stab them to death.
This was the thing that I remember most about the first Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
I just have vivid memories of climbing up this monstrous chimera-type monster.
Yeah.
Like, that had a snake for a tail and, like, being inside the snake's mouth and like holding its mouth open whilst another one of my party hacked its neck off. Yeah. Can you still do things like that?
Absolutely. So I was fighting kind of enemies in the world rather than outright massive bosses. So I found a griffin and some ogres and I absolutely slayed them. I was crawling on their back, I was stabbing them in the head, I was stabbing them in the belly and other such areas like...
and other such areas.
I was just stabbing away. But it was great to be able to kind of jump on and then it gives that sense of scale and that sense of reality that you really are in this world and you can manipulate it and climb things and engage with them in a way that you would in real life. If I was fighting an ogre, I would jump on its head. Absolutely.
Yes.
So to be able to do that is very good. And it just looks really cool as well. It just looks amazing. Being on the back of a griffin as it's flying around trying to get your party is just like,
oh, that does sound exciting. I mean, it's such a departure from what you would expect from a combat system in an open world role-playing game.
Yeah.
Usually a little bit tactical, a little bit less real time and cinematic maybe, but Dragon's Dogma, certainly the first one, was constantly had me just with my mouth open, like I can't believe the combat is this exciting in a fantasy RPG.
For sure. And I think that kind of carries over into this one because there are vocations again, and your vocations are being a fighter, a ranger, a mage, or a thief to begin with.
Yeah.
And these will spread out and become more specific things later down the line. So you'll like specialize. You can be like a mystic knight and that sort of thing, and wield magic as well as other weapons. But to begin with, I played as a fighter, a thief, and a ranger. Mage was my pawn. So Max, my main pawn, was the mage for this one. So they were imbuing all of my weapons with elemental magic, which was very cool.
Right.
So fighter is very much your standard. You got a sword and a shield, and you know what to do with them. Hit with your sword, block with your shield. Just have a good time slashing things down and using your abilities. Ranger, using a bow, very good for flying enemies and knocking them to the ground so that your party can jump on them and kill them for you. You take a bit of a step back and kind of shoot from the background, play it a bit more tactically. And Thief was my favourite because it's basically dual wielding, and you also get a special ability which is a dodge step, which is really fast. So you can kind of run around an enemy and dodge around them and then get them with your dual wielding weapons. And then if you've got your mage pawn that's casting elemental magic on you with lightning, it's just very dramatic. It's very cool. So big fan of the Thief and interested to see where that spreads out into as well.
So do you have 4 people in your party?
Yeah, including you. So 3 party members with you, and they are your pawns. They tell you how great you are. They're lovely. You have one main pawn that's kind of like your pawn that you create, and then other 2 that join you.
Yeah.
In the original Dragon's Dogma, they were born from social connections, weren't they, online, so that other people's pawns from games would join you. I'm not sure how that's going to work in this one. But yeah, I had 3 in my party that were all very excited to see me. And a couple of them were beastren, which is the new race being brought to Dragon's Dogma as well. I have nothing to say other than they're adorable. Like, they're very serious and, like people. They're just people. But just seeing a little lion-faced man that's helping me, like Max, my pawn, was like a beastren mage in one of the builds I was playing, and just a little cat casting magic. I was like, this is what I wanted. Thank you so much.
So you should tell me about your boss fight, Ash, because I got an email yesterday, and I'm trying to find it now, from the Capcom PR, who said, and I quote, "I have never seen such boss-slaying skills before." So, what did you do? Tell me about this epic fight you had.
Oh, I didn't think. I was just playing the game, you know. What
Maybe
can I
they
say?
were just being polite.
They might have been. I got a little compliment. Well, me and there was 2 people in the meeting, and they were like, "We've never seen such a skilled duo before." And I was like, okay. But yeah, I
dreamed about this game.
It's like I already know how to play. But it was the griffin. So I like, it wasn't like a big, like, like the Hydra boss from the first game. There's a couple of griffins throughout that you can fight. So that's why I was like, it wasn't a boss, but that was the one that I was on the back of, like stabbing in the head and climbing all over. So I think it was my climbing skills they were impressed with more than anything, which I was as well. Honestly, it's so fun. Outside of me being really great at killing bosses, though, another point in the game that I think is really interesting and was a fun thing for me to explore was nighttime, where night comes in and it is literally pitch black. Like, you can't really see anything at all, which you're thinking, what? How's that a good thing? It's a good thing because you have to get out your lantern and it becomes super atmospheric. So night closes in, you're in the middle of the woods, you're in this beautiful like wilderness by day that's mountainous, green rolling hills, like lovely little ruins, and then night falls and you can't see in front of you and unique enemies start to come out as well. So
it turns into a little horror game at night.
Yeah, it does. It's proper like necromancer vibes because ghosts start coming after you. So like there's these big swooping ghosts that come out, and also skeletons wake up and just start coming at you, which is, I just love skeletons in games, in fantasy games. Reanimated skeleton is like peak enemy design, and this has a lovely reanimated skeletons. I was very excited to see one. I was probably like, oh, there's a skeleton to kill.
Do they make a little satisfying rattly noise when you kill them?
I don't know, I was too busy yelling, Rob. I was like, ah! But yeah, they pop up, and other such cursed beasties come out at night, which is just a really nice way of differentiating the cycles. So it's this constant like day to night vibe, and you have to figure out where you want to travel and if it's safe, and getting your lantern out, not really being able to see much further than where the four of you have your light source. It's very intricate and interesting, and again, it's that proper immersive part of fantasy storytelling that Dragon's Dogma has always done so well, and Dragon's Dogma 2 is no different. So yeah, I had a great time playing it.
Sounds like the perfect Ash game.
It is. Like, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm very much in the mood for great fantasy titles. And this coming back from my childhood and offering a lovely little, re-entry point into it, and that so many other people are excited because of this like cult following, and people are going to jump on it and find new things out about it. I'm just really excited to see where it goes and what I can do in it as I get further down the line, and what vocations I'm going to unlock as well, because that's very exciting. But yeah, there's a little rundown of what I saw in Dragon's Dogma 2.
Thank you.
I'm incredibly excited for it, and I know you will be too, Rob, as a Dragon's Dogma fan.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Yeah, it's definitely first one, but more. It's in the RE engine as well, I should say. So you know it's good. It's good.
That is exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. Let us know in the comments what you're most excited for in Dragon's Dogma 2 and why it is reanimated skeletons. And we'll be back with more coverage as soon as we've got it, alongside loads of other lovely PlayStation gaming goodies on the channel. So stay tuned here for more stuff from the world of PlayStation. Thanks for watching.
PlayStation